Welcome back to the CA Men's Basketball Insider. Just 4 weeks to go, and what a race we have going as the clock ticks towards March. Fortunately, to break it all down, we're joined by the busiest guy in college basketball, John Fanta, who's been courtside to call games involving several of the top contenders over the past week on CBS Sports Network. John, let's start with Towson, UNCW, and Campbell all entering the week on winning streaks of 5 or more games. What do you like about the way those three teams are playing?
Well, Rob, it's great to be with you. And let's begin with those Towson Tigers, who are on top of the league at 9-1, have won 8 in a row for the first time in 8 years. What I love is Tyler Tejada and Dylan Williamson. They're one of the best duos in this league. They both live for the bright lights. Tejada, he can hit that elbow jumper off the dribble. He can knock down the perimeter three. He could drive to the rim and make something happen. He is tough. And Williamson, Pat Scarry told us twice last week, this kid loves the spotlight. Guess what? He then proceeded to have a huge week for the Tigers and on national television really impressed. So for Towson, I think, Rob, they've always defended and rebounded. If you know Pat Scarry's teams, they're going to try to put you in the mud and just wear you down. This team can do it with finesse too. They can score the basketball a little bit differently than other Towson teams. So that's a start on Towson. For UNCW, when I look at the Seahawks, a team that's won 6 in a row, they're coming on. Another team that prides itself on defense, but what they're doing this year is offense. They're scoring the basketball at a very high level. They're averaging over 80 points per game. They're at the top of this league in offensive productivity. And they're doing it because Donovan Newby is a star. He's averaging 16 points per game, but close to 4 assists per game as well. And he's shooting the basketball close to 40% from three. Kamari McGriff has been really solid for this team, taking that next step as a player, as a junior, going from about 3 points per game to over 11 points per game on the season. Bo Montgomery, terrific. I think when you look at Bo and what he's been able to add as conference play has gone along, 24 against William & Mary, back-to-back double-figure performances against Stony Brook and North Carolina A&T. I really think that Bo has been a key piece in this whole equation coming over from Holy Cross because Newby needed some help, and Montgomery is supplying it. And then for Campbell, Coach McGeehan, he's doing a terrific, terrific job to win 5 in a row. The Fighting Camels, what a job that Coach McGeehan's done with Kobe Dugan, with Jason Sinani. This is a team that, when I look at what their makeup's been as of late, they've not only won, but they've won by a sizable margin here. You beat William & Mary by 41 points, then you follow that up with a win over Hofstra by 23, and in that game against Hofstra, they knocked down 13 three-pointers. They had offensive balance. They were able to strike from the perimeter. Tesos Cook gave them 2 threes as well. So the Camels, they've got a nice blend in their operation, and when you're able to knock that down from the perimeter as consistently as they have been, they're feeling good about themselves. But more than anything, when I talk to other coaches around the league, it's a will that's coming out of Campbell. They're defending hard, they're playing hard, and they're winning ball games as a result. They're the dark horse of this conference.
Yeah, great stuff. What a great atmosphere you had in Williamsburg on Monday night as William & Mary battled past Charleston in a matchup of a couple of CA contenders. Give us your take on the Tribe and the Cougars going forward.
Well, let's start with the Tribe. What a night down in Williamsburg. And you have to give a heap of credit to Brian Earl and his staff for what they've created. But not only that, I think, Rob, that we're in a world now where we're talking through what you look for in a head coach. Brian Mann, the director of athletics at William & Mary, said he wanted to identify somebody who could just, 1, get the program to that next level, 2, bring energy in the community, 3, have a team that plays unique. And I think Brian deserves a world of credit with his administration and everybody there at William & Mary for selecting Coach Earl, because he's been a program changer. His team plays a unique style. They're one of the fastest playing teams in the country, Rob. They're one of the most entertaining teams to watch. And the sum is greater than the parts. They have this formula. And I hope that Noah Collier is okay. But he goes down with an injury in this game. And Noah sits on the bench and he's watched his team. He's rooting them on. That's culture. That's culture. Kyle Pulliam was in single digits the last 3 games combined. He goes off in this win over Charleston. He was fantastic in the victory. The Dorseys, Gabe and Caleb, they're just terrific. They bring something to the table day in and day out. And Chase Lowe did a bunch of everything, and they got him back from concussion protocol. He was huge. William and Mary is a nightmare to play right now. They're playing with confidence, and you better be ready for 40 minutes of conditioning. As for Charleston, a little bit shorthanded. They'll be missing Daywalk Tavares and A.J. Smith. This has been a tough card dealt to Chris Mack in his first season at the helm. But Ante Berzovic is still a stud. C.J. Fulton leads the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. The Cougars are going to be fine. We'll see them on CBS Sports Network on Thursday night when they welcome in North Carolina A&T. I expect a Charleston response. This is a team that I just think has to identify what they're doing defensively. And I think the offense will come because I think they've got some pieces. Eustace Stonkus is still a freshman, and they've got some youth there. But to me, Darren Boyd is one of the best bucket getters in the CAA. Charleston will be fine.
Finally, John, what a week for Monmouth Madison Durr, averaging 33.5 points, going 33 for 33 at the free throw line and a pair of wins. John, the Hawks now 5-5 in the CAA. Could they be a threat down the stretch?
Well, first and foremost, I want to congratulate Madison Durr because as a member of the USBWA, I get the pride of selecting National Players of the Week. And Rob, we break it up as an association every single week. And this happened to be my week. So I did not even need to look at the nominees to know that Madison Durr was one of the 5 National Players of the Week, which will be coming out here as we're taping. I just think the world of him, and I think the world of Abdi Bashir, and I think that King Rice has done a really nice job with this team as the year's gone on. They scheduled hard. They played a gauntlet of a non-conference schedule. It's a grind. They went to Seton Hall. They took down a Big East team for the first time in several years. You get rewarded when you challenge yourself early in the long run. And I think for Monmouth, what they have is, first off, for Bashir, he really set the tone of the season. But now Durr, 19 for 19 from the free throw line. Second most free throws made in a game next to the Admiral, David Robinson, in CAA history. Madison Durr, take your place in history. Watch out for the Hawks. That when you have a duo that good, with Bashir averaging over 21 points per game, and those guys are both shooting 40+% from 3. Jack Collins comes in with a veteran presence. Cornelius Robinson can give them some physicality. When they get enough rebounds, they don't turn the ball over much, Rob Washburn. They only turn it over about 11 times a game. I'm okay with that because you make up for it with your scoring. Watch out for the Hawks, and we're going to get a look at them Saturday on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, let's look ahead to that 4 CAA games over 5 days on CBS Sports Network, including that doubleheader on Saturday, UNCW at Drexel, followed by Towson visiting Monmouth. What catches your eye?
Well, I think for Drexel, Kobe McGee and Yame Butler are 2 talented players and guys who have taken that next step. The key for Drexel is, can they get enough from a Jason Drake? Can they get enough from Victor Panoff? Can Shane Blakeney keep it going? I thought Shane Blakeney played really well at Towson. They need some complementary pieces to step up for McGee and Butler. Their defense is going to be good. That's going to be a really interesting matchup on Saturday because you got a team coming in UNCW who's tough and who's playing great and who's on a winning streak. Fascinating matchup. Could go down to the wire. And by the way, Drexel, this is a big week because they get William and Mary first on Thursday. And how Drexel's got to get William and Mary to play more deliberate. They got to play if they're going to have a chance to win the game and take the game. Towson at Monmouth. Towson, when you're defending Towson, you have got to find a way to contain one of Tejada or Williamson right now. Because if you don't, you're going to be in for a time. And you got to get ready on the glass against Tomiwa Suleiman and company. I think for Monmouth, they counter with a duo of their own. Great star duos on Saturday in New Jersey with Durr and Bashir on one side and Tejada and Williamson on the other. Several other good matches. William and Mary will be at Delaware. You've got Elon at Charleston. How does Charleston handle that? And how do they handle the size of Elon? Some good front court play there. Elon, one of the tallest teams in America. Stony Brook and Hofstra we get when we get Hampton and Northeastern. It's a loaded slate. It's CAA play. This is fun.
It is fun, John. Thanks as always for your time and the great breakdown. And make sure to follow us as always on CAA Basketball on social media.